was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. A knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit. We're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. Bless you. It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. Yeah, I don't want to stop. 5:15. But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances? Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. How can you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand. Try to understand, Righto. Well, if you can prove there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there's something that ties the two murders together. Whatever it is, I better find it and get to the bottom of this. Two detectives were killed at 5:15. One at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife, what was it doing there? I'd better check this knife out. Won't let me check the knife out. I'll take a knife. Cell 9-2. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not sure. It reminds me of a similar code. DL6? Maybe it's a case number? That's weird. What? I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Yeah, okay, so that's how we would have figured out the notes if we hadn't seen it yet. It says something to do with the knife, but I'm not sure what. I think we've already examined the blood on there. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Nope. Trying to think of what links.
Many hours later.
Okay, I give up. I fucking give up. I've presented just about everything, and I don't know what it runs. Wait. It just... Fourth stage. hold on. I'm seeing something I didn't do. Oh, so I asked the wrong question. Where was the victim found? So, tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second. I have heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? Knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we could get Gann to testify about the details. Wait, so what now? Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place, mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. Aw, we have a blessing. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information? Unofficially? Shh, phone. Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What, really? Who would have guessed? Okay, so I'm gonna minimize that because I don't want that. I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Ah, the victim's ID number. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. He won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 584-2189. Now let's check with this one. 584-2189. Goodman was murdered in 2 places? So there was really 1 murder. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 8, 2... I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? Oh, this tells me everything. The ID number of the victim at the police department. 584-2189. This tells me something! Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something? What does it tell you? Just this. Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do. Oh, that smirk! I know what you have up your sleeve. Police department, prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh ho! Is it yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney. Remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personnel IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 584-2189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I forgot it. You even get the first number right! Again! The number the chief of police gave us was 584-2189.
Objection!
Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh! Sharp as a tack, Righto. Sharp as a tack. But wait! Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet, a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So, what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time? And in a completely different location? What the fuck is going on? Order, order, order! Chief, what does this mean? No, what I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret. Fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? His eyes were like glowing. The oversight? The grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha! It's that slinky guy. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is printed right on the top of the report. Ah! Well, why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He didn't seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. Listen. He has a point that Edgeworth should have checked, but at the same time, I bet your ass, Gant ain't a good person. He's up to something, and he purposely picked Meekins, because he knew Meekins was a terrible officer. I'm just saying. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy? What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Wrighto over here. Good job, Wrighto, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. No. No! It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors? You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth! Please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time. Really? You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well, court is adjourned. To be continued! And this time, I'm not actually gonna continue it right this second, because this is a perfect time to wrap up the stream.